Hello guys and welcome to the show. My name is John and today I'm checking out the KEF Q150 bookshelf hi-fi speakers. Now I want to say something straight before we begin this review. I'm going to be mentioning that these speakers are really good and actually cheap, and well, I'm going to be doing this by having one vital thing in mind. Hi-fi audio components are relatively and very, in some cases, expensive, and therefore this pair of speakers is going to be reviewed by me as a hi-fi component, which is typically very expensive. So for what they offer, and that's a bit of a spoiler alert, you will be surprised, they are cheap. So don't get me wrong when I say cheap. I'm not going to be comparing them against something like a typical $100 pair of bookshelves that you might buy off of your local store or even off of Amazon, but with some more high fidelity audio components that are really outstanding. Alright, I'm gonna get straight into the point. KEF has made hands down what I believe is the best looking pair of bookshelf speakers ever. Its all black cabinet is really nice and sleek looking, easily fitting in any kind of room or situation. The only thing you can see apart from the KEF logo at the top is the Unique driver, which is something that's a KEF special. It's basically KEF's way of implementing the tweeter right in the middle of the woofer's cone, which really helps in a much nicer audio quality. I'm going to be developing that a bit later on the video, but it's overall a nice design and it's what's called a tweeter island. Now one thing that you might not notice and the camera does not do a really good justice is actually the fact that it's quite a big pair of speakers. Even though they don't really look that big, they are quite big and actually very deep, and that's something you should definitely keep in mind, especially if you're planning to put these in some kind of cabinet or bookshelf or anything like that. At the back of the speakers, all you'll find is the bass port, and this is actually one of the things that I don't really like about those speakers, because when you have a bass port at the back, you're really limited when you want to put the speakers against a wall, inside a bookshelf or anything like that, considering that the sound quality will be a lot of bass heavy. I mean, to put it in perspective, in my amplifier I have to turn the bass up around 2 stops down on the equalizer, because where I've placed the speakers it's really bad for the bass port. It ends up making the sound a bit more bass heavy, which is not something that I like, because it ends up messing about with the way the audio and well the song is actually sounding. So given that the looks and feels departments is all nice and great, it's time to plug them in and actually play some music on them and see how they sound. And after the break-in period though was done, I cranked up the audio, played some real nice songs, and holy fucking moly, this thing sounds incredible. Trust me, you don't really understand how impressed I was when I firstly played this pair of speakers. Now, I only got to reach my amplifier to 85% of audio because it was loud enough and I really couldn't stand it anymore. And well, it's safe to say that they can easily fill my room with sounds, and well, even my living room can be filled decently with sound, with good sound quality and overall a great loudness. So you got no problem there. It's really impressive how well KEF has managed to make these small speakers make such a loud impact on your space. Now the bass is also quite nice, and as I've said previously, I do have them against the wall, so bass is a bit more toned when I'm playing songs in here. But even when testing them out on my living room, where they did have a decent amount of space from the wall or any kind of obstruction at the back, well, the bass was again really well. I mean, you can adjust the equalizer and make it more bass heavy, but I have no complaint with the bass response in those speakers. Sure enough, having a subwoofer would do a better trick in some cases, but honestly, I was really impressed again with the size and price of those speakers. The highs and mids are also very nice and crystal clear, and the vocals come out really well. Honestly, if you get the chance to listen to this pair of speakers, I would definitely recommend you do so, and especially if you have some good quality audio, because you can really hear everything loud and clear. And it's overall impressive how KEF has managed to pack such a great sound quality and so good detail in such a small package. I mean, this is only a 5¼ inch driver and can do so much impact, and it's overall impressive. Honestly, for that amount of money, there's nothing touching this budget-ish pair of hi-fi speakers and so good quality. I mean, you can take a listen right now. This is a sample that I've taken using my Zoom H4n Pro recorder, so it is a decent recorder with a decent microphone on it, so I guess it can give you an idea of how these babies sound. And honestly, even though I was actually sitting on my computer for about 10 minutes trying to find some drawbacks for this pair of speakers, I could really find no drawbacks at all. And this is really impressive from KEF. The only kind of drawback, if you may, would be the price. $450 is a quite steep price tag for a pair of bookshelves, but trust me, they're more than worth it. But this brings us, I guess, to the problem. And well, the problem is that there's a rule that what you pay is what you get, and in speakers, this is really truthful. Prior to this premium pair of speakers, I had in my room a pair of Yamaha natural sounding speakers, which I considered sounding they sounded the part. But when putting them side by side, they sound like tin cans playing music compared to these pair of bookshelves from KEF. So overall, it's time to conclude. Is this pair of bookshelves worth it? Now, if you familiarize yourself with the idea of getting a premium pair of speakers, of bookshelf speakers, and are willing to pay a hi-fi price, then there's nothing that's gonna come close to these pair of speakers, not in sound quality or design, because I think KEF has nailed both departments. Let alone if you find any kind of price drop in these, think no further and actually go out and buy them, because they're impressive, they're good, and overall, I'm very impressed and surprised with them. But anyways guys, that's what gonna do for me in this video. If you like it, you might wanna consider clicking the like button and also subscribing, because I upload twice a week technology oriented videos. But anyways guys, my name has been John, and I'll see you again in the next video. Goodbye.